Hey everyone. I want to talk about our healing journey after a loss, whether it's through a family member passing, or our children grow up and move out, or you go through parental estrangement and they take off. And I this is what I wrote down today. I said, you can see where someone is at on their healing journey depending on what they focus on. You'll see a lot of parents that are stuck and play the blame game. They fail to take a certain amount of responsibility for, let's just say, a breakup, estrangement, etc. I'll be honest with you. I had my kids when I was 19. My daughters were born right before I was 20 and 21 years old. I was a young parent. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. And, I married young, and I'm sure neither of us, we kind of just did our thing. I love my kids and I did my best, but I wasn't perfect. But there's a lot of parents that fail to take a certain amount of responsibility for the estrangement. I cannot solely place the blame on my ex, his wife, my sister, my mom, my kids. I did my best, and I'm sure they can tell you they did their best as well. Each one in the equation succeeded and failed at different times. We marry someone that fits with us within our puzzle at that particular moment in time. I was sexually assaulted in the military by a fellow soldier, and I did not get help. I was dealing with unresolved trauma from that assault. I never went to therapy. I never talked about it. I never turned the guy in. And so a year after that, I met someone, got pregnant, ended up marrying someone who signed the birth certificate. And so early on, from the time I was assaulted on, I was a broken individual. I was pregnant. I didn't know what I was going to do, and I married someone else who was also broken like me. And together we had our first daughter, went on to have another child, and we did our best. We loved our daughters. We had fun. We both did things that were awesome, and then there were certain things that weren't so great. And I know it wasn't until after my daughters were older, they moved on, that I finally went and talked to someone about my traumas. When my daughters left, I finally had to start looking inward and start to heal what was so desperately broken in my life. So I will never say I was a perfect parent. I can say I loved my daughters to the best of my ability. And I was fortunate to have family also that stepped in, that loved my daughters, that took really good care of them, good role models. I can say I was surrounded by a lot of really good people. And so together, since it takes a village, and even on base, we were surrounded by some really amazing people as well. So I'm never going to place the blame on my daughters for walking away. I'm not going to blame my ex-husband or my sister. That I can say that we don't currently have a relationship. I don't have a relationship with certain individuals, but we all did our best at that time. So my daughters moved on, and that's the way it is. That is their right. They have the right to move on and have relationships with whomever they want. All I can say is I hope the love I poured into them is being poured out into this world, and I hope they forgive me. And if it's meant to be that we come back together someday and we can find common ground, so be it. And until that time, if that does not happen, that may be the direction it goes as well. So I just want to say that until I went and got into therapy. I had to go inpatient because for me, that's what it was necessary for me to finally focus on me. So it's just the way it is. And so I think because I've been through therapies and I've accepted the decisions by my daughters, and I've come to a place of resolution with other people in my life, and I've continually had to forgive others and forgive myself. I have peace, and you won't ever see me playing the blame game. I'm not going to attack anyone. I'm not angry with anyone. I just want everyone to have peace, and that's all there is to it. So anyways, that's all I got for today, and I'll be back.